Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Craig, why don't you support local game stores? I was asked in the comments section of a recent video. It was a Friday seal deal, and I was showing a lot of deals on eBay and TCG Player, and someone said, why don't you buy from local game stores and support them in the brick and mortar? And, my response was, well, you have to understand where all the boxes that you're buying online come from. Wizards of the Coast has a policy that the distributors they work with cannot sell product to anyone who is not operating a brick and mortar game store. And so if you are buying any Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering product online on TCG Player, it is being sold by a brick and mortar game store or by someone who bought it from a brick and mortar game store. And so if it is a new in-print sealed box, then that's almost always going to be a brick and mortar store selling it on TCG Player or eBay, because it's very hard to buy from them and then as a second party turn it around on those platforms with between the market fees and shipping it again and again and make any money. And so new in-print product is almost exclusively sold by brick and mortar stores who simply have a dealer account with TCG Player or eBay or Card Market or Channel Fireball or any of the others. When it comes to Flesh and Blood, pretty much the same rule applies. Legend Story Studios has almost always said that if you want to buy any Flesh and Blood product from a distributor, you have to have a brick and mortar card store. And of course, it's not like the distributors simply say, hey, Joe Bob, do you have a brick and mortar card store? And when Joe Bob says, oh yeah, sure, then they just sell them product. They'll do things like ask for photos, ask for video. They'll cross-reference with Google Street Views. They'll ask for a copy of your lease with the landlord, things like that. They ask for real evidence to make sure that your store is real and you're not just some guy in an apartment who wants to get distributor pricing on these products and undercut the local game stores. And for the most part, I think that's okay. The hobby definitely needs local game stores. You cannot have a TCG industry with no local game stores. So it's important that they try to assist in that way in order to keep the market healthy and make sure that it's not people with no overhead costs doing this out of their homes, undercutting the game stores and putting the game stores out of business where you could never find new players again. So I said there was an exception with Flesh and Blood. When Flesh and Blood first released, when they brought out their Welcome to Wraith, the first set in 2019, they made an exception to that rule. They said at the time, if you are an online seller of singles, you may sign up to work with our distributors and buy boxes of cards, bust them into singles, and sell those singles online. Now, the thing is, you had to have signed up in 2019. And after that initial sign-up period in 2019, they no longer accepted anyone else to sign up unless you had a brick and mortar card store. So how does this differ when it comes to Pokemon? Well, Pokemon USA's policy is a little looser. They don't seem to have an explicit policy that you must own a brick and mortar card store to buy Pokemon from the various distributors. And there's like 4 or 5 big distributors in the United States that sell all of these types of products anyway. But the distributors themselves will have their own additional policies on top of the policies of Legend Story Studios or WotC or Pokemon USA. And several of those distributors say, we don't want to deal with you unless you are a brick and mortar card store. And so even though Pokemon USA is not so strict about who the distributors sell to, the distributors are imposing their own rules on top of Pokemon USA's rules. And there are distributors, Alliance Games is one, who will let you have an account if you do not have a brick and mortar card store. Now, you do need to be set up as an actual business, probably an LLC. You need to show that you have a business bank account, that you have sales tax certificate, all of that kind of stuff. But once you're set up as a business, even if you do not have a brick and mortar store, some of the distributors like Alliance Games will work with you and let you buy product. But again, you're under the restrictions that they won't sell you these products. They might sell you this, but also Alliance is kind of known for having high wholesale Pokemon prices because they are dealing with the people who are running a business out of their house, and they know those people have virtually no wholesale path to get product, and so they can charge higher prices. So, when you see people on YouTube or online or whatever, and they're advocating that you buy from TCG Player or eBay or some other online marketplace, it is not circumventing brick and mortar card stores, it's supplementing them. And, brick and mortar stores have an opportunity to try to adjust their prices in the store compared to their prices online in order to bring people into the store. Because obviously, if you can lure me into a store, I'm likely to just impulsively buy some other stuff. You got a couple of curse scrolls in the display case, I'll probably buy them. So, it's an opportunity for the brick and mortar stores to try and get people to be incentivized to come in and make purchases in person. But hey, not everybody's interested in driving to the store. Some people are fine just shopping from home. Maybe they don't have the time. And so you're still supporting local game stores. It's just you're giving tiny bits of support to each of many of them across the country. So just understand how it works and where your money is actually going. You're still supporting the game stores that we absolutely must have in the hobby. The hobby will not exist if game stores stop existing. So let me know what you think. Agree or disagree. I love to hear it. I'm always interested in the comments and I enjoy responding to them. So keep them coming. And like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, everyone.